Sorry guys, I was just taking my estrogen and I'm just still waking up. Almost about to get coffee, checking my Twitter. Just kind of still waking up. I thought, you know what? It's the morning time. I should just watch my stream. We got a rare opportunity. Not that rare. to capture a Rebecca in the wild. I guess Hassan got banned. I don't know what for, because I haven't watched streamer TV in 2 days, and I don't, this is what happens. You don't watch streamer TV or LSF for 2 days, and then you come back and Hassan's banned. What the actual fuck? Okay, I can't handle it. I don't have enough caffeine yet. Respect people, appreciate differences, consider others, include everyone, support those in need, terrorize minorities. Yeah, that's the RACICST. Oh, Destiny just tweeted like 9 minutes ago. It says, yeah, I'm racist. Respect people, appreciate differences. It's fucking hilarious. Gotta be careful with Twitter, though. Okay, I can't show Twitter live. I can't show my Twitter live. So this is all we're gonna see for now. It's like, yeah, I'm racist. Don't scroll too far. You might see kitty cats. Yeah, I'm racist. Respect people, appreciate differences, consider others, include everyone, support those in need, terrorize minorities. Yeah, they got everything right except for the last part. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, so I guess the song got banned, so before we watch LSF, I need to get caught up, okay? I need to get caught up. And... well, there's me, we're not gonna watch that. Streamer TV. Okay, so I missed 2 episodes. What the fuck? How could I saw Hassan in the thumbnail. I saw that he had a rant, and I was like, oh, what else is new? Hassan ranting? What else is new? But what it turns out is he actually got banned, and it's because I didn't click on it. They should have told me Hassan Abi banned. I would have clicked on it. See, that's why clickbait needs to exist. Because I would have clicked on it even if it wasn't real. But because it just seemed like another... I was like, oh, Hassan on a rant. And I'm like, he's always on a rant. He always gets stun locked. That's what he does. But let's just see what's going on. And I got my coffee. Let me just 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, just 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, give me 1 second. Yeah, just take me 1 second. Take me 1 second. I gotta be careful with my Twitter. I can't just load Twitter on stream, okay? I need to stop doing that. It's dangerous. It'll get me banned one day. I don't want to be like Hassan. Wait a minute. Getting banned does not make you like Hassan. It's not mutually inclusive. Like... or whatever. So just because you got banned doesn't make you just like Hassan. Just give me 1 second. I need coffee. right, good morning. Now that we got coffee. Yum yum. Oh yeah, this is the stream where I can't show off my tits. Okay. What happened? Oh. I saw that clip. There we go. Yeah, I saw this clip.
Oh my god, I actually.
55.3 thousand? Who would buy this? Ah! I just bought it!
What's up, guys?
It's because he's pointing out that people buy it on accident. That's their whole scheme. Like he's basically pointing out like that he's not doing it on accident. But he might be doing it on accident. So if even XQC, the thing is either way, it doesn't matter. The reason doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the point that he has. And the point that he has, I believe, is that the whole idea behind allowing like pay to win or even just like in-game currency to buy like what do they call it? Glamour items. Is a complete scam because they make it but of course it's a scam. Everyone knows it's a scam. They go into it knowing it's a scam. But that's not what's at issue here. The thing is like, okay, like if they make it so it's so easy for people to accidentally buy it, does that go into the realm of criminal behavior? And I think that's the question, is that we need to start cracking down on these pay-to-win businesses, or these these in-game currency, like these people who basically make you buy Disney bucks or Bezos bucks or whatever. Like, I don't know. Hey, Vask Tech. Hey, Florence. So it's like there's a question, like how far can a company go? And I think that's like kind of what we're trying to answer these days, is like we can allow a company to offer in-game currency, in-game purchases that only have value inside the game. That sounds pretty reasonable. But when it gets to the point of like, well, let's make it in this specific case, like a new game comes out and then this company makes it so that in order to play the game, you have to give them you have to like purchase $10 worth of tokens. And then once you get the tokens, it buys stuff and then it puts stuff on auto pay or something like that. Like that's just evil. Like if you're spending $10 a month without even knowing it because your game started you out with $10 a month and then it doesn't really tell you, like it says in like some fine print somewhere, but it's not apparent. Like that's when you start getting to like, okay, there needs to be some kind of regulation. And I feel like regulation is good. People sometimes say regulation is bad. Too much regulation can be bad, and too little regulation can be bad as well. So it's like, there's kind of a balance. And so it's like trying to find out regulation for like, well, what can streamers do on a certain platform? And like, or like what can a business do? Like in a video game with in-game purchases, like what is considered ethical? And ethics is kind of important because it's adding the human part to the equation. And if we don't add the human part to the equation, we're going to forget who we are. We're going to become mindless artificial intelligence. But by then it wouldn't matter because we'd be different. We wouldn't be human anymore. So it works out either way. So, but the thing is like, I don't know. It's just the whole thing about it though, is that in-game purchases is a total scam. Obviously, if you have the money and you want the glamour items, that's perfect. You're the perfect audience. Obviously, XQC can afford it, but think about the people who are just wanting to play the game, who might accidentally buy stuff and then they can't even they can't return it or whatever, like all that kind of stuff. And chargebacks are a problem too. So it's like there has to be a balance between like, okay, well, there are legitimate chargebacks and there are like chargebacks that aren't. Anyway, I don't know where I got on this business rant, but
Streamer TV, and first up in the news we have Hassan. Now yesterday Hassan was live streaming when he found out 2 of his mods got banned, suspended on Twitch. Hassan then took it to Twitter and went on a rant about the situation, tweeting out, "If you post on Reddit you should go to jail. Yes, this includes myself. 2 of my mods randomly got banned off the platform for saying and every pastor baby worldwide that."
Oh, for for that word. Okay. Oh, I mean, they're talking about people who are like, they cry that there's people that like say that white people should be allowed to say the N-word. I mean, obviously, like, what was it? Samuel L. Jackson was like, try it. And he made a point where it's like, yeah, that's what I thought. like don't, that's not your fucking word. It's not my word. I don't say words like the CR word or whatever. But I mean, like, you know, sometimes I, you know, eat crackers, but you know, like they have Cracker Barrel cheese or whatever. What was that? Yeah, there's so many, and you notice how people who argue against sex workers' rights or whatever, or people who argue against, it usually seems to be people who they get so angry about things, but it doesn't even affect them, and then as soon as it does affect them, like, they just go way overboard. It's like, dude, like, I don't know. There's just so many people out there. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's like I was reading something the other day, and it was like, I was actually like kind of listening to it. It was on Quora. I should have known, but I was reading something that kind of like felt like a little bit, like some of it was like ringing true with me and sounded like it could be true, but like obviously like not everybody's mileage varies. And this was specifically about like the porn industry and sex workers. And I'm sure there are people who have been taking advantage of people with contracts and stuff like that. That's always the case in business. But you know, I mean at the same time, like this person was like listing off things that like only somebody who would, like, this was a man, like it was a man's name, like this is a man talking about women like working in the sex industry, and it's like, well, you haven't even lived it firsthand. And I'm sure maybe this person has like listened to a few people, but maybe it's biased information. Maybe this person dated as somebody who was in it, and maybe this person kind of like may have been telling the truth, but also, you know, may have embellished things or forgot things. That's always the case. But even if this person was telling the complete truth, even if this person was telling the complete truth, like it's still a secondhand account. Like it's not directly from that, like it gets filtered, and so it's like it's a game of telephone, no matter what you're doing. But in the end of the day, there are things that are like patterns, like with people who are just like, you know, they want to be the victim. Like it's plain and simple. They want to be the victim. People constantly accuse trans people of doing that, but it's usually cis white hetero men who have like middle class, you know, or like upper lower class, I guess, if that's a thing. Like I'm not saying that, you know, like no any other judgment, just like the fact that like usually the people who are the loudest about something and who are like the most restrictive on things are usually people who aren't even like affected by it. You know, like people who argue a lot against trans rights are usually people who aren't trans. I mean, that makes sense. But at the same time, like everyone's playing on hearsay. What they heard on Facebook, or what they heard on Twitter, or what they heard their friends say, or what they heard their pastor say, or what they heard their favorite Twitch streamer Hassan the Hun say. It works every way, but like at least there's some people who seem to be at least trying to like keep a like structure towards like positive change and education and helping the world, and Hassan's one of those people. So it's like when everybody lost their shit over him buying a house, it's like, how dare you, like, you know, how dare you like only support this person so long as they follow your exact definition of what communism is or socialism is. Like, I can't claim to speak for Hassan, but from what I can tell, he does a lot to educate and spread awareness and just spread the news in general. And he doesn't back down from people who are on the right, even like literal Nazis will be in his chat, and he'll actually talk to them, because shutting them down isn't going to change anything. The only thing that's going to change anything is actually having discussions, because if you know what you know is right, then it shouldn't matter who you're opposing. It's painful and it's a long journey and it may never happen, but that's the goal. That's how we should treat things, at least in my opinion. That we should go into things accepting that people can change, accepting that people can be better, accepting that people might not have the full picture, because I have to be able to accept myself. And if I can't accept them, how can I accept myself for all the wrongs I've done, you know? So that's how I feel about it.
Has debated for white people saying the N-word is losing their minds over how using it is a hate crime. What are you guys' thoughts on Hassan's little rant? Let me know in the comment section below.
So C-word equals N-word for white people. I like that tweet.
That is a hate.
C-word equals N-word for white people. I'm confused. Oh, Daphne, 39 Devs, funny. Hey, Pluto. You eat Pluto? But Pluto isn't a planet, so is it actually like... Is it even nutritious?
Crime. What are you guys' thoughts on Hassan's little rant? Let me know in the comments.
Thanks for the clarifications, everyone. I have now come to a conclusion. Hassan should buy a new supercar to distract everyone. This is the whole plan. She figured it out. He did this specifically so when he bought a supercar that everybody would forget about. Like they wouldn't be as upset about the supercar as they would have if he didn't get banned.
Section below.
What do you think about the word crap?
The what?
The word cracker.
What do I think about the word crap?
Two of my mods got banned for saying cracker yesterday in a sequence of like 3 minutes.
I don't use it personally.
Oh.
I'd rather describe people with things that aren't just broad stroke derogatory terms based off the color of their skin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not about like, oh, now it's our turn. That's what I think that's what a lot of white people think. I think it's just like, oh, well, now it's their turn, and they're afraid that they're gonna get enslaved, and it's like, wow, that's projecting. It's like, no, it's not about like, oh, now it's our turn to do it. It's like, hey, why don't we just do something different? Why don't we just move past it? Why don't we just do something else? Why do we have to? Why does everybody have to have a turn being discriminated against? Like, why do people have to get discriminated against in the first place? We're all the same species. Shouldn't we be like exploring outer space and like curing cancer and like inventing new games of chess that have never been invented, and like creating like the metaverse, and like creating programs that can like do your taxes for you, or like solve taxes so that you don't even need to do taxes, because money shouldn't even exist, because humans are a part of this universe that could provide for us, and we need to be like harnessing the actual stars themselves to get life across the universe, not this little teeny collection of cells that people say is life. Life is out there in the universe already, and we're destroying life on a daily basis, and they're saying nothing about it. But suddenly, when somebody wants to get an abortion, somebody who can get pregnant, 99.9998% chance of the time that is a woman, But I am a woman and I can't get pregnant. But so that's why I say they, and I say, you know, as far as like that abortion rights, like that does affect like people who can get pregnant more than it affects me. However, I don't think that we should just put our head in the sand. And I do think there's a lot I can do, even though I can't get pregnant. There are places where I need to step the fuck down. And that includes, you know, women who can't get pregnant as well. But, you know, but even then, it doesn't stop at, it's the moral of the story is that people are controlling people's bodies. And that isn't limited to people who can get pregnant. That isn't limited to trans people. It isn't limited to gay people. It isn't limited to black people. At some point, they're going to come after you. They're going to limit your rights. They're going to take away your bodily autonomy. And it starts with taking away Roe v. Wade. It starts with taking away Roe v. Wade. In fact, you know, I don't know. There's just so many things to consider when thinking about human life, and at what point is it too late? And we've decided that already with Roe v. Wade. It could be discussed further, but if anything, it should be, you know, I mean, some places allow it even up to birth. You know, I think that's a little bit like you have plenty of time, but then there might be circumstances. What if somebody ties you up for 9 months, like they detain you? And they force you to pregnancy, but you somehow get to escape like a month before you're supposed to give birth. I don't know. At that point, I think that person may be willing to go through the pregnancy, but you'd have to ask that person. But I think that's a case-by-case basis where it's like, hey, this person was forced to give birth by somebody. Like, I don't know. This is a hypothetical case, so it's like it's not based on reality. But like a hypothetical case, like if somebody detained somebody for over 9 months, got them pregnant through raping them, and then like and then like force them to try to go to term, but then somehow like the police got to them like before they were giving birth in that pregnancy. So it's like that's like something that like you have to say, like, is it ethical to force a pregnancy on that person? But like that's a case-by-case basis, and there's a lot of factors, and I don't think you can just say one sweeping argument that like this is how it is in every single case, and it should always be enforced to the full extent of the law, no matter how where it is. Yeah, most people are shallow and greedy. I don't know about that. I think most people are responsive to their environment. And that takes the form of being shallow and greedy because that's a survival mechanism. Because greedy is a response to poverty. And it's why you have to be careful. Why I have to be careful. If I ever start getting some money, I need to be really careful. Because I feel like I've been denied money my entire life. And if I start to get money, I might have the opposite problem. Where it's like, I don't want to give it up. And I'll be too afraid to use it. And I'll use, like, I don't know, it might cause like becoming greedy. Like I just want more because I don't ever want to be poor again. You know, like that, I've worried about that. But I mean, I think that's not. I mean, I'm gonna try to live my best life. Most likely, I'm not. I don't know. I'm gonna try my best to get out of poverty. Okay, I need to not have the mindset that I'm gonna fail. Okay, I'm gonna get out of poverty. It's happening. I'm doing the work. I have a lot of people on my team. There's people helping me. Okay. A lot of people have the kind of spiritual awareness you do. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Spiritual awareness is a very, like, we can't objectively measure it. So you could say that I'm spiritually aware, but what are you measuring that with? So it's like the thing about spirituality is it can't be measured. That's its very nature. Is it can't be measured. We can, but we have to create our own measure. And that's kind of a problem when you get to like government and when you get to law, because you can't use a relative litmus test that's based on like, oh, you know, it's like this. There was this. My sister a long time ago told me about a blog post. There's this blogger, and she did like food, diet blog, and she was talking about how beans were bad for you, and the article that she linked was her own link. And so, yeah, you kind of have to know where you're getting your information from. But there are people that like, people do say like Peepo, Peepo do say, people do say like with Hassan, especially with like the Hassan Body, Hassan Body once told me. No, with people like Hassan and like Vosh and Destiny, I call them like the holy trinity of politics or whatever, or leftist politics. I don't know, it's just ridiculous. They're all flawed people. And to say that like, oh, this person is perfect and then, oh, this person is stupid. I mean, they do it to each other as well. But I almost think that there might be just playing into the meme because they know their community. Their communities are like orbiting around them and only care about them. And obviously it's not the whole community because I watch Vosh, I watch Destiny, I watch Hassan. I don't watch all of them. I don't watch all of any one streamer because I wouldn't have time to live my life if I watched every single streamer 24 hours a day. There's literally, I mean, sometimes some of these streamers do stream like 12 hours a day. So it's like I can't watch every single stream and every single YouTube video for every single streamer. So to say that like you know what a streamer stands for is already flawed because you haven't listened to everything. So but what you can do is over time you can see patterns. And over the like year and a half or longer that I've watched Hassan and Vosh and Destiny, like I have seen a very consistent pattern of education and level-headedness, equal, like, you know, objective analysis, but also, you know, injecting subjective opinions as any kind of broadcaster would. It seems like a pretty decent person that's just doing their thing, you know? These people would probably be doing this even if they weren't getting paid, you know? If they retired right now and they were told, okay, you can stream however much longer you like, but you will never receive any more money from the platform. But they already earned all their money, so it's like, would they still do it? You'd have to ask them. But Hassan has already said he would be doing exactly what he's doing, even if he had no viewers. Like he just like some angry guy screaming in his basement, because he's that kind of person. And it's like, you know, it's like Miz said, you know, it's like, you like people like set out doing streaming like it's some kind of like career, and like, yeah, I kind of did, but not really, because I already was existing in the internet ecosystem, which I've not really completely talked about on stream, but I've been on the internet for over 20 years. So it's like I'm part of the internet ecosystem. It's about time I get my piece of the pie, you know. I've been here for 20 years. I think I should have something for that, and I do. I have knowledge, and so I can use that knowledge to try to do something for myself, and I'm gonna do it. And I am doing it. It's just not happening the way the speed I want it to, but it's happening, and I'm feeling a lot better about myself, and I'm feeling a lot better about my body, and I'm really exploring like a lot of stuff about myself that I like, my sexuality and stuff like that I haven't explored in a while. Anyway, let's get caught up.
Okay.
It's so irritating that this like giant, like white fragile.
Okay. I said let's get on with this, and he said okay. Seriously, I did not pre-watch this. You guys. I did not pre-watch this. And what's interesting is then Destiny shows up. I'm on Melina's stream. Like, I was just talking about Destiny, but obviously you talk about Hassan, you're inevitably gonna talk about Destiny and Vosh. But you know what's funny is you almost never see Vosh show up on these streamer TVs. I think it's just because he's just too involved in the discourse. I feel like he's more involved in like the action. Like, I don't know. Vosh seems to be more contemporary. Like, he talks. I mean, so does Destiny. Hassan doesn't really do that. Hassan is like a streamer. Like he's doing his thing, but he also does his own thing in private. Like, you know, I don't know. He does have people on his stream sometimes, but he doesn't do what Destiny and Vosh does. Like, he doesn't go on panels. He doesn't do the debates, which I kind of feel like, you know, it's probably best for your sanity. I've been on Hassan's Discord. I've been on DGG Discord. I haven't been on Vosh voice chat in Discord. I think he needs permission for that. But it's like you go into especially Destiny's Discord. You go in there's already a political debate happening. in voice chat, and I'm just sitting there like for 5 minutes trying to see like get caught up with what they're doing, and I might interject, and then it's like I don't know, it just makes you want to scream at people. And I'm like, wow, there's only so much of this I can handle. But sometimes I would just wake up and have coffee and like say, oh, I wonder what DG, like I would go into the Discord like I was gonna watch Twitch. Like it was like that. Like I was like, that was a part of my day. Like I woke up and I was like, let's see what's going on in Destiny's Discord. And like get some coffee and just drink some coffee while listening to them argue about like I don't know, I had a decent it wasn't a debate. I don't consider myself a debatist. I don't know. A master debater. I don't consider myself a debater. I don't like going onto panels. I'm also not trained in it. I'm not smart enough, okay? But I do enjoy listening, and I also do, when it's something I'm very passionate about and know a lot about, like stuff, obviously about trans issues or trans experience or anything like that, or just stuff like growing up with abuse and all that kind of stuff, being bullied, this stuff like that. There was a discussion once somebody was having about whether or not it's okay to like spank your kids or anything like that. I don't think it's okay. I think there's studies have already shown that it's not very effective. It does the opposite of what you want it to do, and not only that, it also hurts them, like physically and mentally, and more mentally. But it does hurt physically. But physical violence does translate to long-term PTSD, and that goes into adulthood. So not only are you crippling them in their childhood, you're crippling them into their adulthood when you hit your kids. Somebody was saying, yeah, there might be like extreme circumstances, and I kind of like can like I can't really argue against that. But all I can say is that like there's plenty of alternatives. This person was saying, oh, once you've traveled all the roads besides it, like, but you need to save someone's life or whatever. Well, yeah, if you need to save someone's life and that's the only thing you can do, that's different. But then you have to get into the realm of like, well, what is the thing we're talking about? And like, will it actually save their life? And like, and like, why won't any other options work? But sometimes you have to make these split-second decisions. And sometimes people make split-second decisions that are decisions they wouldn't make under normal circumstances. And yeah, and some people can be forgiven for that. Some people are in situations where they continually are expected to be putting themselves into situations where they have to make split-second decisions, and so their training should train them to be able to make good decisions. And so when it comes to military or police, obviously, there's always going to be the case where, the human mind can only take so much. They're still human. PTSD can hurt any way. Like if you're getting fired at, you have like, mortar shells blasting, killing your platoon and all that kind of stuff. You're going to make a split-second decision. You're going to try to rely on your training, but at that moment, you can't train for that exact moment. Because that's something that only happens when it happens, because people are dying around you, losing limbs, all that kind of stuff. So you have to make a split-second decision, and hopefully your training will do that, and that's what their goal is, to give you that training, is so that you make that split-second decision. However, it's not 100% guaranteed. There's always going to be failure, and so that's why I don't think we should be so quick to judge people who make mistakes. Now, there's people who make premeditated mistakes. But there are people who accidentally kill people, but, you could argue that they shouldn't have been there in the first place. You should, vigilantism is also illegal. And we're talking about the Rittenhouse. Honestly, as long as this guy doesn't like go around and like try to push an alt-right agenda, he seems to he apparently, I'm not gonna like trust him, but like he at least he like said he supported Black Lives Matter like on Fox News or whatever. So that's kind of a win. If he keeps doing that, then I'm not gonna forgive him for what he's done, because vigilantism is fucking stupid. You shouldn't be walking around with a freaking AR-15 at a protest expecting it to go violent, because if you expect something to go violent, it's probably going to go violent. I'm just going to say that. So it's like the police do it too. They show up and they start like shooting tear gas on peaceful protesters. And obviously it's not always the case that looting doesn't happen, you know, like or that they didn't start that it didn't turn into that on their end, but there's a lot of things to consider, and I highly doubt that people want to hurt people. I think it's like people hurt people out of a response because they're in so much pain, they're responding to it. Although there's certain things that are like, well, there's constructive ways to deal with that and there's unconstructive ways, and that's why you say, well, we have to place you under arrest because you broke a glass window for a business. That's something that you have to live with. You know, if you're going to go to a riot and commit a crime, you have to pay those crimes. But I would say that committing a crime of bringing an AR-15 to be a vigilante, that should also be punished. You know, obviously the people who showed up and, you know, they are legally allowed to carry, and I can understand if a peaceful protest, if they brought those for self-defense. In the end of the day, I don't think Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. would approve of having weapons present during a peaceful protest. But that's my opinion. The times change, people change, needs change, but I don't think violence is ever the answer. Because once you start using violence, everybody loses. But you know, like, yeah, like you might not be as effective if you but you know, what's the point of winning something if you lose yourself? If you become what you're trying to get rid of, you know, like if you're protesting violence and you use violence, then you've done the exact opposite of what you're trying to protest. You know, they're being violent to us. They're pressuring us with racism, with letting their religious beliefs get into government. They're like making laws controlling people's bodies, controlling mainly women's bodies, saying that like because you can get pregnant that you have to give birth because we see you as an incubator and not as a human being who has control over their body. You know, we are above our biology. Humans are not limited to our biology. We created artificial intelligence to aid us. We created tools to aid us. We are not able to survive on our own. We will die if the planet will kill us if we don't use our tools. That's why we have opposable thumbs. That's why we have the kind of two hemisphere kind of brain that we have, and the way our brain works. It's so we can survive. And the way we survive is we change the world around us. Now we have to decide also that has a responsibility. Maybe not. I mean, obviously they can't say anything about it. I mean, the universe will try to kill us regardless. So there is a limit. There is something stronger than us, and the universe is stronger than everything. It creates us. So, but at the same time, we can manipulate our environment. We can change it, and we can also give the illusion to ourselves of having manipulated our environment. So that's dangerous too. We can get lost in our own realities. We can get lost in our own world that we create. And that's a tricky thing to deal with, because there's people, including myself, who have a specific worldview. And sometimes our worldviews align. Sometimes they don't. And there is an objective true and not true. There is an objective true and false. However, we do not have the capability of determining what is true objective. But we can get pretty fucking close. And so we're going to do the best we can with the tools we have, because that's what humans do. And so anybody who argues that, oh, you shouldn't be allowed to abortion. Oh, you shouldn't be allowed to transition your gender. Oh, you shouldn't be, your body to match your gender. You shouldn't be allowed to, whatever else they say. They say, oh, marriage is between a man and woman. They say all this shit because they say, oh, it's natural. It wouldn't exist in our society if it wasn't natural. Now, the difference is like, well, where are the limits? Well, we don't want to cause people harm. And, there's laws that we put into place that protect people, or are designed to protect people at the very least. Like, protecting minors from sexual activity, or protecting, Who else? Lots of things. We would never end the stream. We would never end the stream if I kept listening.
Maybe is like constantly saying like DGG brigades everything when he's literally watching threads with 30,000 viewers going to every single comment. It's actually insane. That is brigading. Like that is by definition brigading.
Yeah, I don't know about that. When you get into the drama between the communities, you've already lost. Trying to understand it, trying to understand the way people work on Twitter and stuff and Reddit, it's a losing battle. It's a losing battle. Just live your best life, enjoy the content for what it is. Obviously, don't like dismiss things. There are things that are serious that you should probably think about, but don't like let like a single community or drama between a community determine like how you see your life and how you see yourself and how you see the world, because you can lose yourself to a lot of the drama that happens online and in life, and not just online. It's an extension of our real life, because what happens online is like an extreme version of what happens in real life. In my opinion, like a lot of the stuff that happens online is obviously people feel a lot safer when they're in the privacy of their own home. A lot of the things people say online, they would never fucking say in public. But you can't count on that. There's always going to be that person. But at the same time, like, you kind of have to put things into perspective. If the person who's criticizing you is some like 80-year-old person who, like some 50-year-old person who lives in like a basement and like living off like some kind of like loophole they've lived in for collecting like their parents' disability or something, and they like live in a basement and all they do is just shit on women all day, like on the internet. Not literally, maybe literally, I don't know, but like all they do is like hate women online, go on 4chan and like go on, make like Reddit and Twitter threads, like I guess brigading is the word, like hating on people for being, you know, of marginalized demographics. Like that person is pretty fucking pathetic. Okay, and whether you think you're like that or not, oh, I'm not like that, I just have I'm an intellectual. Well, you know, like, yeah, you can keep telling yourself that, you know. That's probably going to get you laid. It's probably going to get you invited to a lot of parties. If you walk around, you know, saying that you're being an intellectual and that you're not actually transphobic or racist or misogynist, that you're just being intellectual, that you're not actually like, you know, you don't actually hate women. You're just saying things for intellectual integrity or whatever. Like they think it's some kind of like, oh, I'm just trying to expand our knowledge by having discussions. It's like, well, you're choosing to have discussions by saying that like oh, you know, women are evil because they have breasts and they lure men to have sex and that manipulates men, and that that men are being taken advantage of by women. And like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you freaking like 4chan like basement, like you probably haven't bathed in like 3 weeks. Like, I mean, sometimes I don't bathe for a while, so I shouldn't be saying that. I don't know about 3 weeks, okay? Like, maybe like a day or two, like 3 days, maybe not 3 weeks. Jeez. Wow, that was nice. Yeah, I haven't seen that whole stream yet. I guess Cutie Cinderella did like kind of like a karaoke night kind of thing. That sounds like it'd be a fun stream. I want to watch it. Maybe it'll be on YouTube. No, I know that like a lot of it is like performative. I understand that like the streamers, like they're all coworkers, they're contemporaries. At the same time though, if you work with people for a long period of time, I have worked with people, like when I worked at like Burger King and stuff like that, like you still work with them and you get along with them and you like have memories with them. And yeah, sometimes there's like, you know, like that holiday, you know, the holiday party at the office. And yeah, maybe it's kind of like you're not looking forward to it. You just want to spend time with your own friends. But then what about the people in the friends group, or, you know, in the coworker group, who actually really enjoy spending time with each other? And yeah, obviously, you know, you have to, like, you know, when it comes to like contracts and stuff, you know, and you know, obviously for a performance is different. Like, you know, you could have a 2-hour performance and that whole time you're in performance, of course. But as soon as the performance ends, you know, the performance is over. You know, some people like to have privacy. That's always just should be respected, because a lot of the times that's me. After a show, I usually want to have like an hour or two to myself, maybe even like smoke a joint or something, with like the other musicians or something. Probably not. Usually not like during a gig. That's usually only like it's usually like after. Like after everything's done, you know, to calm down. Maybe, I don't know about drinking. I usually don't like to get drinks, but that would be sometime after. But like during a performance, you put in the performance, but like you still work with these people, and it's like there is something there. And I understand that, like, I think you do put things into, like, when you put things, like, us as the audience, we have no way of knowing which parts are scripted and which parts aren't. And they know that. But do they? Because do they know what parts are scripted? And how many layers of unscriptedness do you have to get to before it's just real? And so it's like, I don't know, obviously you should never have expectations with people, whether you're working with them professionally or just, you know, people in general, like people in your life, either people online or people in your real life, you know, friends and family, and, you know, anybody. We kind of just, like, shouldn't have expectations, because we can be surprised, you know, for better or worse. And yeah, like sometimes our friends and family and the people closest to us can actually hurt us. And sometimes people that like are kind of more of our acquaintances or coworkers could actually be like more of a friend at times than anyone else. Because they're in a very specific, like, because they're in a unique situation, because they're not family, they're not friends in your real life, they're coworkers. And so it's like, but, you know, I don't know. It's similar to the idea of like being friend zoned. You know, like there's this friend zone people talk about, and it's like people talk about going over from the friend zone, and it's like I think that the whole way of framing that is kind of toxic. Because it's like you shouldn't be trying to manipulate people into being a specific type of relationship. Like, just enjoy the moment with people, regardless. Even if, and you know, I know obviously don't like to be in situations where I'm around people that are hurting me, but like, we could always just, we know that's not going to be forever. And eventually we're going to get back to what matters. But yeah, I do think that a lot of people like criticize a lot of the streamers for being fake or whatever, and I'm like, dude, like, even if it was a fake, which a lot of it is, they have said it, and you know, you should probably believe them. But you know, even the stuff that might not be fake, like, what does it really matter? I mean, it's never going to be real to you anyway. Like, these are people, I mean, it might, I'm not going to say never, but people who think that they're going to, like, you know, meet streamers and be friends with them are kind of delusional. But I mean, it's different if you're a coworker. So. I mean, you know, potato.
Okay, so I got to separate the yolks, and I have to save the whites as well. Okay, that sounded really.
Yeah, what are you gonna save the whites from, Sear?
So you want to separate and then save the whites, huh?
I like how Nick literally didn't say anything until he had the opportunity to say it. And then he doubled down on it and like turned it into a meme. It was like freaking awesome.
Hassan, is this one of these guys, huh?
Dude. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Nick knows everything. Does he like live on Twitter? I think he does. So does Milena. Oh shit, do I live on Twitter? Oh, I'm like them. I'm just like them. That means they're my friends. No, they are not your friends. They are entertainers. They are people. And above that, they are people. Yeah, above entertainers, they are people. And they are choosing to put a camera in front of them and share it with you and do whatever the hell they want, which may or may not be scripted, may or may not be because of a contract, may or may not be because whoever the fuck knows. Maybe they just wanted to do that at the time. Who cares? Why are you so hyper fixated on your keyboard 1 millimeter away from your monitor, like hyper analyzing every single thing? And I am on the spectrum, so I can understand that some of you might out there might really be interested in that, but you have to ask yourself at some point, does like humans have a need to actually have human connection, and you're never going to get it on Twitch. You're never going to get it on Twitter or Reddit or YouTube, and you have to accept that. But you will get it on my app.
Unbelievable. Where's Bruce and E-Rob and Russell? I'm feeling outnumbered. Yo, boys, come on. Code Black, come over. Serious place.
Oh no, he's losing it.
Oh my god, he pulled the soda laugh. The soda laugh. I've done the soda laugh before.
No, we haven't cooked yet. It's getting edgy here.
That's what I have to do, though. I do have to. I literally do have to separate the. I'm not gonna say it. Can you?
White fragility. Yeah, it's because we get hyper focused on it, and I know because I'm white, and it happens. It's white fragility. That's what it's called. It's called white fragility. There's a whole book on it. It's called white fragility, like fragile, because white people are so fragile because they refuse to even look at racism. They refuse to look at Black history. They refuse to look, and I try to understand Black history and try to listen to Black people and understand what Black people have to say, but also not inject my own expectations and my own like inject my own interpretations of it, because I only see it from the white person's point of view. And even being trans, I'm still white. And so it's like, it's not that like I have to be upset that I have privilege. It's not that like it's just that I should be aware of it and get used to it. That to some people, certain conversations are very typical and like don't really bother them. Some things are very much bothersome, and we should probably listen to them instead of like assuming. But at the same time, a lot of the time we're kind of like have to assume, because like a lot of the time I don't get to like have like a discussion with a Black person about the intellectual like the words to use, and like like it kind of breaks the moment. Like sometimes we just kind of have to go with it. And I think a lot of the time, and I can understand a lot of people mistake things. Okay, so a lot of people probably, I'm sure there are a lot of people who legitimate want to like cancel people. I'm going to tell you right now, you can't get canceled. Just looking at all these streamers' careers, and some of the shit that's gone down over the years, like you can't get canceled. Not that way. Not through like Twitter people like harassing you. Like you're not gonna get canceled. Unless you actually do something that'll ruin your career. But like, I don't know, what the difference between somebody accidentally saying something that could be considered even remotely racist and somebody who actually is doing racism is that there will be a consistency over time. And so if you randomly say an insensitive joke, someone might get upset by it, and you should probably listen to them and kind of like, know your place. But like, not every, don't walk on eggshells, so to speak. Just because you think that like you're gonna like, oh, I can't say that because it's racist. It's like, well, why would it be racist if you said, like, why do you have like bad intentions? Do you want to hurt people? Like, do you want to like limit people's access to things? Like are you going to like go to your Congress people and like beg them to enact racist policies? Are you going to actually become the president of the United States and enact sweeping policies that affect an entire demographic of people, like what Trump did with trans people? I mean, so they're like, somebody calling you out for accidentally misgendering you, they might be angry, but they might not be angry at you. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm just generally angry all the time. Being trans and just being a woman is difficult as it is. But being trans in addition to that, and just being poor and being autistic. I forgot what I was saying.
You say it?
Can I say it?
Got an incredible head coach.
The conversations that happen on Nick and Melena's stream. I mean, I know that was Sir's place or whatever. Sears place, but I mean, it was in their format. It was in Nick and Melena's format, the kitchen stream. Like, they pretty much own it. Okay, like they're awesome. I love their content, even if it's not always exciting. It's still like it fulfills the parasocial need. They know what their audience wants. They skip past the pretense of entertainment. Although they can be pretty entertaining, but they skip past the entertainment and they go straight to the parasocial heroin. They're just like inject you with it. They're like, yeah, watch us have like our little like fights in the kitchen. Watch us like drive places and we're taking you along with us, chat. And that's awesome. That's exactly what it should be, because for everybody who says like, I know Ludwig, how Ludwig has spoken on the issue. Ludwig might has spoken on how he feels about parasocialness, but he, even he has been parasocial, it seems. It's a part of human nature, is we want to know what other people are going through. It's called empathy. And so when we watch people on stream, we can imagine ourselves in their situation. And yeah, like it can get a little toxic sometimes because people kind of get a little too far. But I think as long as we understand that it is a need, there is a reason why it happens. It's not an isolated phenomenon. There's a reason why we have Twitch in the first place, why we have YouTube, why we flock so much to LSF and to listening to all these people's lives and stories. There's a reason. And to dismiss that reason is reckless. To say that like, oh, go get your own life, stop being parasocial, all that does is it makes people feel ashamed for what they enjoy. And then what they do from there is then they might even like double down on it, and then it will become a problem. But I think the best thing is like the obvious realization is that we do need to focus on our real lives. I've been focusing on my real life, and I've been documenting it through Twitch and through my many discussions with people on Discord and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like it's not about what happens online. I'm using the internet as a tool for myself, and like I'm living my own life. I have my own friends. I have, the past 2 years of streaming, I've been going through the most difficult time of my life. Transitioning medically to match my gender identity, and trying to get out of poverty. And I can only hope that some combination of whatever the fuck I've been doing the past 2 years on the internet, just basically just running around, like just aiming blindly, wandering around blindly, just guessing what I'm supposed to do, trying to get some kind of success online, and that's finally started earning a little bit of money, but not much. But like, I'm trying to figure this thing out, and but at the same time, like, it's a means to an end. Like, there is a life out there for you. If you're out there and you're alone and you feel like the only people who can understand you are streamers, I hate to break it to you, but it's very unlikely that these people will ever be your friends, like in real life. Very unlikely. Most likely, you should just never think it's going to happen. And I'd like to meet all these people and work with them, but that's not friends. That's work. It's not the same. And you have all these opportunities. I would say just don't judge yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself. What you should do is just like try to notice it and take these little teeny tiny baby steps. Notice something and say, is this something that is taking away from my life or adding to my life? And, maybe, and, there's always a second chance. There's always that, you could always say, you know what, I think I'm going to call my mom, or I'm going to call my brother, or I'm going to call my friend, or, maybe I'm going to get on a dating app, which is what I did. I had a date and we had sex. It was awesome. And, I've never been treated that way before. I've never been treated like a lady. It was this first time I've ever been treated that way. Because I was presenting as male, all my previous relationships. And so, when having somebody like be gentle with me and like hold me and stuff like that, like I've never felt that before. And it's nice, very gender confirming also. And I don't know, it just puts things in perspective. And then you can enjoy the entertainment that is Twitch and stuff for what it is. And it's not unhealthy. It's only unhealthy if you're unhealthy already. And that's a bigger issue. It's not Twitch's problem. It's not the streamer's problem. It's not anybody's responsibility but yours. And I think once you understand that, I think you're way above everybody else who's in that parasocial illusion. And once you break out of the illusion, you never fully break out, obviously, because you're human. You don't want to break out. Once you break out, you'll no longer be human. It's called empathy. It's a very good trait to have. It's a very good skill to have, and it can be trained. Trying to think about how somebody else might feel. Not trying to think of how you must feel, but how they must feel, which is going to be different than you. And respecting it and acknowledging them as a human being, that they have their own system set up that's different than yours. And it doesn't mean that you have to leave. It just means that you have to know your place and that you can be there to help or you can be there to be in the way. And I'd rather be there to help.
I just cannot say enough good things
Rumor
about
has
the
it
head
you
coach.
drafted players based on size.
We did not.
With that in mind, with how incredible these rookies have been, is it safe to say the Raiders are swinging their way to a Super Bowl victory?
Listen, I did not draft players based on the size of the. Okay, I didn't do that. Hell, to be honest with you, I don't even know the size of most of my, or if any of my.
Most of my.
Not a single. I don't know the size. Okay.
Everyone was like, it's.
God damn, I love S-Band. Call me.
So scripted. It was very scripted. What does that even mean? Like, was there a guy like, all right, Soda Poppin's gonna yell and get really mad here, and he's gonna talk about how God of War was better. Again, I'll take it as a comment, but it's like, is that one of those things where like people feel really smart? Where they're like, yeah, I'm so smart that I know it's scripted. Shut up. You're actually stupid.
True. true. Like how, like, you don't know what's scripted and what's not scripted. They're very good at what they do. And you know, everything that you think is a guess. And so it's like what you think and obviously you could be right, but you'd be pretty stupid for thinking that you know you're right.
Like you're actually, it's the other way around. I don't know. It annoyed me, but again, compliment. I'll take it.
Hey,
compliment. I'll take it. It's like yeah. I mean, I'm gonna get a little dark here. You know, trigger warning. You know, just trigger warning. Sexual abuse, I guess. There's a part of me that is actually kind of scared. I know that this isn't true, but like there's part of me that is scared that in order to feel that if somebody was like having sex with me even after I said no, that at least that part of me would justify that as like, well, at least I'm getting touched. And it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. And I don't know where that came from. What was I talking about?
It's the other way around. I don't know. It annoyed me, but again, compliment.
Oh, it's because it's like even like it's like when I was a kid. I did that same thing. Like I was like, when I was a kid, I liked that the kids made fun of me because at least they were paying attention to me. Was the fucked up reasoning that my childhood brain told me. Was like, oh, you know, they're bullying you, you know. Like, I knew they were bullying me. It's not that I didn't know. Like, I was specifically wanting to get bullied because I wanted them to like me. I wanted them to, like, they made me sit on, like, pine cones. And, like, and put water balloons in my pants and make me sit on them. And, like, throw rocks at me. And stuff like that. And this is like when I was like 4 or 5. But I wanted to be friends with them because I wanted to be around other humans. I don't know. And also because this kid had Nintendo games that I didn't have. So I wanted to be friends with him because he had video games that I didn't have. So it's kind of a long chain of events it's been going on since I was born. And that might be hard to believe, but the way my brain works, like I have deep memories. I have deep memories. And I can't recall specific details every single time. And some people might say that that's mighty convenient. But you know, if I can just justify things by saying, oh, I don't remember the details. But that's just how the brain works. It doesn't remember everything, and if anything, it should be proof that it's even more real. Because if I remembered everything verbatim, or from photographic memory, then it's like there'd be something to be like questioned about that. But there's certain things that are that hit me very closely, and left a very strong trail on me throughout my life, and that includes Twitch streamers. So watching their content, sometimes I remember a clip or something, and I remember the context of that clip in my life. Like I remember what I was going through during that time, and so it's like I think that's the healthy way to treat parasocial. Is like they're not your friends, but they are a part of your memories. Just like watching a TV show is, but it doesn't mean that the TV show is your friend. Like I've been watching TV since I was a baby. My mom would put me in front of the TV and. We would watch. She would have me watch. I really liked watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Apparently, watching it with the cartoon at the beginning, especially, is that she always put it on because it made me smile and made me quiet, made me laugh. Now you could say that was that was definitely early signs of spectrum autism. But I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to go back there and blame my mom. She was doing the best she could, but she's a very sick woman. She needs help. She needs some serious help. And I can't force her to get it. She has to get it on her own. So I'm sorry. I can't help her. She has to get the help herself, and I don't know if she will, but it's beyond my control. But I still think it's fucked up that instead of actually dealing with her problems, this is a pattern of behavior. Instead of actually dealing with the problems that with her 4 children, she would just get like 10 cats. And just say, oh, you just have to, it'll make, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's like, we have barely any food in the house. The whole house is a mess. She wants us to do all the dishes and all the cleaning. But she just wants to sit around and just drink margaritas. And so, that was pretty much my whole childhood up until even after I was 18. So, yeah, it's tip of the iceberg there. But I do think it's pretty stupid to get angry that something's scripted or not. Just enjoy the fucking content. It's an awards show. Of course there's fucking stuff going on, but there might be stuff that's not going on. I still think it's pretty fucked up. I reacted to the clip the other day. I still think it's pretty fucked up that they would that they wouldn't use soda as a chance. they could use soda as a chance to show that they hey, this is the guy that made Twitch what it was today. This is the guy who was had a stream where he was in a canoe in his fucking bedroom. The whole Twitch ecosystem as it is now is was the response to him. So it's to not put him up there is they're basically just giving a huge middle finger to him. It's I don't know. It's these people, they don't understand. They're so small-minded. They're oh, well, this is a broadcast. This is supposed to be on TV or whatever. And it's whatever. I don't know. Either it's scripted and it's all good, but even if it was, I'm just gonna treat it as if it's real. Judging by it, it's over now, obviously, but I feel they just missed a huge opportunity. They could have actually showcased him and put him on center, Soda Poppin', he's a top streamer on Twitch. We're gonna get more eyeballs on our show. They're gonna buy more stuff. They're gonna give us more money because we have him on our show and we're treating him with respect. Instead, they're oh, well, he's not behaving the way we want him to. And so they're gonna turn down money? They're gonna get more eyeballs on their show. What the fuck? Maybe there's stuff going on that I'm not aware of, but still.
I'll take it.
Hey, don't be weird.
Is that a frozen? Is that an uncooked pizza?
My cheese. Bite it, you wuss. This guy's laughing. Can you bite it? What the f is that? What are you doing?
How do you bite that?
This reminds me of GTA RP. I don't know why. Doesn't it? Doesn't this clip remind you of I know it's real life, but doesn't it remind you of something that you would see in a GTA 5 RP clip?
He's gonna do it.
Not enough minerals.
You're on there. Yeah, cool. Oh, yeah.
What the
That's some strong pincers.
Pizza ice. He's gonna do it. Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? Read this.
And of course, the ongoing stuff with Blizzard, it's not going away anytime soon. So people should just like kind of take a step back, slow down, and kind of try to take things like one little tiny step at a time. Trying to like make sweeping statements about entire companies or entire people, making sweeping statements, you literally don't know anything except for what you've seen on the news. And so it's like, yeah, it doesn't mean don't believe the news, but it also means don't fucking go crazy on Twitter, going on some crazy Twitter rampage, on some crusade, when you only know like a small amount of the details. So, and even then, if you knew the details, you still shouldn't do that. Like, that's fucking stupid. Go fucking live your own life. Say what you want to say, but like, don't go on fucking crusades to like deplatform people or like get people fired or shit like that. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, try to solve the issue. Don't just hurt people. Jeez. But at the same time, obviously, if people are going to get deplatformed, they're going to do it to themselves. So just get out of their way. If you want them to be deplatformed, the best thing you can do is step out of their way, let them trip on themselves. Okay? If they're gonna do it to themselves, okay? So like you're actually helping them by making yourself look like one of those quote unquote angry libtards or whatever they call them. It's like, because all you're doing is shouting on Twitter. It's not helping anything, I don't care if you have like 1 million followers. Well, maybe, but I mean, if you have like 1 million followers, it's a bit different. You kind of have to, maybe you don't have to do anything. Yeah, I don't think it's anybody's responsibility. People have responsibility over their own actions. So if you say something, the difference is that you said it, but they did it. So if you say something, but the difference is though, there are certain things where you're riling people up to get to that conclusion, like when it comes to hate crimes. Like that's where freedom of speech has its limits. Because if your speech is going the opposite direction and hurting people, then it goes against everything the Bill of Rights stands for. It goes against everything that the founding fathers stood for. As soon as you start using it to hurt people, because that's exactly like you're trying to find loopholes. You're trying to get around it. You're trying to hurt people within the law, and that you've already failed. Because it should be in your heart. There should be absolutely, obviously an ideal world, which doesn't exist. There should be, what if there was absolutely no laws in the land at all? And yet there was still no crimes being committed. Like, people didn't do things that were bad to people. People didn't cause harm to people. Yet there were, like, there's no law saying that you can't murder someone. Like, if in this hypothetical world where there's no laws that say that you can't murder someone, and yet there's still no murder. Like, it's possible for people to achieve a state where murders never happen. And it's because you have control over your hands. You have control over your body. You have control over your mind. And yeah, you could argue that in some cases you don't, but it's always temporary. Your mind is a lot stronger than you think it is. Your mind is evolved to adapt. It always goes back to where it needs to be. And so, it might have like some side effects, like you might lose your brain, you might like fucking like go insane, but I don't know. Yeah, you could argue that, but that's a very case by case thing. And like, I feel like most people do not want to hurt people, and once you start hurting people, you've already failed. If you're using your platform to try to like hurt people who may or may not deserve it. Sometimes people do deserve things, but it's not your job. It's your job to be the best version of yourself that you can. And obviously it doesn't mean you can't talk about things. Like, that's what discussion is. We can talk. But when you start talking or like things like, oh, these trans people, they're going to pretend to be women so that they can rape women. And it's like, well, then what about other women from, like, that's a stupid argument. Like, some women have penises. Get the fuck over it. So, there's women who rape women who don't have penises. So it's like like, are we just gonna police everybody just because you think that someone has a penis means that they're gonna be a rapist? And, you know, also, it's none of your business what's in between someone's pants. For all you know, somebody could have genitals that are different than what you think they are. And it's really none of your fucking business. It has nothing to do with that person or who they are. Do you ever, does somebody's penis do the talking for them? No, their mind does. Their mouth does. Their actions do. Not their fucking genitals. So it's like J.K. Rowling coming out and saying that, like, it's like a woman. They're calling the rapist a woman with a penis. Like, yeah, I mean, it's fucked up. I can't understand why somebody who would be going through the pain of transitioning would commit a crime and go to prison. I can't why would you throw everything that you've worked for away? I mean, obviously, there's still life to be had. And obviously your gender is your gender regardless of who you are and where your life is. So even if you are a criminal, you know, you still, first of all, we should allow people to rehabilitate. And, you know, punishing someone isn't going to fix it. It's not going to undo what's been done. You know, we should have basic compassion for human beings. Doesn't mean you have to like them. Doesn't mean they have to be in your life. But, you know, if someone commits a crime, shouldn't they be, you know, have a chance to live their own life and have personal redemption and have, you know, redemption with, you know, whatever their spirituality is or whatever? Like, that's their own shit. Okay. It's not yours. And yeah, like, part of me is like, if somebody hurt someone I loved, and like I wanted them to go to jail, but if they get out, they don't go to jail. But, you know, like, I at least want them to not hurt anybody ever again. And yeah, it's different when it happens to you, but, you know, that's the real test. If something happens to you and you don't uphold your convictions, then you really have to start questioning, like, you know, like, why do I hold these convictions if I just, you know, toss them aside when it becomes convenient? It's like in Star Trek, you know, the Prime Directive, you know, like, we can't just pick and choose what we do when it becomes convenient. And, I don't know, there's core values that we have to have. And it's like, I feel like we're getting to the point where people are starting to see how ridiculous it is. Like, when people like J.K. Rowling are so vocal about what she believes in, but at the same time, every single time she gains traction, she gets a whole bunch of other people who feel more empowered to, like, stand up for their transphobic beliefs. And it's really fucking frightening. But in the end of the day, they're gonna lose because they're wrong. But not only that, they're violent, and violence might win temporarily, but peace always wins. Eventually we all return to peace. We already know that. The universe always leads back to peace. Like, we might have chaos in our lives, but we always get back to equilibrium. And sometimes it might be too calm, might be too boring, but then we get back to equilibrium. It's what we do. It's what we do to survive. Our brain survives. It adapts. Anyway.
Refrigerators had padlocks that were not consistently locked.
Yeah, I already saw this one. Yeah, this is about the Blizzard. This is about the, like, you know, stuff that was going on at the Blizzard. Blizzard stuff and how they would, like, lock people's stuff away, like.
Or could be accessed by other employees. Employees were using the fridges to store their beer in, but the reason there were locks on them in the first place is that women's breast milk was being stolen.
His bio says my favorite.
Yeah, and the fact that you even have to come, instead of, like, actually, like, punishing people for stealing the milk, they create a solution so that it makes it harder for people to steal it. It's just like the same thing, like, when people say, like, oh, you know, let's deter crime by making the crime so bad, or, you know, the punishment so bad, or whatever. But it's just like, how come you're punishing people who are, like, good people, like law-abiding people, or, you know, people who are just, like, minding their own business, living their own life, and trying to be good people, for the bad eggs, instead of just punishing the bad eggs. Just like people saying, like, oh, we can't allow trans women in the bathroom because it might give an excuse to men pretending to be women to rape women. It's like, well, why don't you focus on that instead of taking away basic human rights? Like, I should be able to use the fucking bathroom without being hassled by some fucking jackass. Okay? Like, saying, oh, you're not supposed to be in that bathroom. Fuck him. Fuck all that. Fuck that noise. You know? But like instead of actually punishing the people who were stealing the breast milk, just put locks on it. Fuck them. It's fucking bullshit.
Facial hair could be at any stage at any moment. Enter talk to me about puppers / politics / anime / video games. I think you should just X out the first line entirely. / anime stage at any moment. His bio says my facial hair could be at any stage at any moment. Enter talk to me about puppers / politics / anime / video games. I think you should just X out the first line entirely.
My facial hair could be any of these? Yeah, because you want me to delete all the ones where my facial hair is...
No, it's not because I want you to delete any photos. It's because nobody asked.
Nice one. It's so awkward.
I don't deserve this. I'm just saying. I've been a nice guy. Okay?
Nice guys.
No, I didn't top frag! Not giving your money. I just crossing my fingers. Not getting money. Oh, did you? Who's talking, by the way? Who's talking?
The bottom frag.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, let's see the plate. Gold. Gold 4. Isn't that almost plat? Hey, that's gold, right?
I enjoy waking up early. At least I woke up at the time. Now I don't wake up anymore.
Yeah.
Which is it going to change?
After this 24-hour stream.
See? You believe in me, right?
Yeah, I do. Oh, one of his favorite things to do too when I'd bring him back in the morning, he'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go start my stream right now, like right this second, and then what would you do?
I'd go to McDonald's. I would get a large Coke.
One time I was like, it was like 8 in the morning, and I was like, okay, like I want some pancakes, you know, it's breakfast. And I was driving over to the McDonald's thinking that he's going to start a stream, and he's walking down the street, and he's like in his little Dallas hoodie and his little sweatpants.
If you guys enjoyed this video,
That's so cute. I wish I could have seen that. Oh yeah, guys, I'm Rebecca, by the way. Okay.
video, feel free to drop a like, and if you want to keep up with the latest news and clips, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
That's why I didn't take one. I knew that was hard as I could tell from the back.
You like soft cookies?
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah.
I like them hard.
Chip the tooth bite.
Why do you eat that?
Like I know E-Rob. I don't know who the other guy is.
That's decoration.
Oh no! You're supposed to eat those. It's these.
What?
Give it to me.
Are you dead ass?
It's supposed to eat these ones.
It's cardboard. Look.
You.
They look like you.
Rest in peace.
He's eating cardboard. Come on, E-Rob. All right. Well. Wow. That's interesting. I don't know if I'm actually going to get to LSF. I took an hour and a half to get through an 8-minute video. Well, that's enough YouTube recording for today. I'm gonna take off. I don't have time. I don't have the energy for chess right now. But you know, I got my. I don't know if I'm gonna use it, but I filmed my material today. I'm gonna try to edit it today. I have a bunch of videos I need to edit today. So today I'm going to try to focus on editing. Today I'm going to focus on trying to edit. But also I'm not going to force myself because I didn't find out. Oh, I know I found out. Like Hassan was banned for saying cracker. Okay. That's silly. They're desperately trying to find drama where there is none. And that's welcome to Twitch, welcome to Twitter, welcome to LSF, welcome to life. People just trying to desperately find drama so that they can get through their lives without feeling like their life is super terrible and that they can get through each day. So streamers, thank you very much for giving us the entertainment that helps us stay alive, gives us a reason to wake up in the morning, gives us a feeling that we're not alone and that like we can get through our challenges, whatever they are. So thank you so much, streamers, having the best job, the most important job, maybe not the best job, the most important job in society are entertainers of any kind. There's so many different kinds. There's adult entertainment, and I make that kind of stuff. And so it's God's work, okay? It's God's work. You're helping people get through their lives so that they don't kill themselves, and makes them feel not so alone. And it's not a replacement, but it's a step. And what we doing? We're ending the stream. I already did my recording for YouTube. I don't even know if it's going to be useful on YouTube Lego, but I've just been starting to like do what I usually do in the mornings while I'm having my coffee. I'm trying to integrate it into content creation. I'm just reacting to LSF, or I'm mostly just reacting to LSF as played by Streamer TV. So it's like, but mostly just doing LSF because I usually react to it anyway without watching it. And what I found is that even when I wasn't on stream, I found myself like pausing the video and responding to it. And I'm like, oh, that's why they do it on Twitch. Like, it's not just for content. It's just that they naturally do that because you want to respond to it. And it's like, I started doing that. I'm like, yeah, I need to start recording that now. I don't want to be crazy. I don't want to just be wasting all that time and energy responding to things to the ether, you know? It's gotta be recorded and captured. And hopefully I can put it up on YouTube. I don't know. I'm a failure. No, I'm not. I'm not very good at editing, and I need to get to it. It's not that I'm not good at it. It's that I have a hard time getting started, and I don't know. I just need to do it. I'm going to try to do it this over the next couple days. I have a bunch of stuff I need to edit, so I really should not be streaming. I should not be doing any live content. But yeah, sometimes I do just because it's like, yeah, I'm it's either this or do nothing, and at least I did something. So anyway, I'm gonna head out. So bye bye, Lego.